Welcome to the Chicago Home Partner Real Estate Roundup. I'm Amanda McMillan. For those of you that are not familiar with who I am, I'm the CEO and founder of Chicago Home Partner. Over the past 2 decades, I've had this distinct pleasure of wearing a lot of different hats within the organization. One of my favorites always remains as the chief advisor. Those that know me best will tell you that I'm incredibly data-driven and very consultative, which is why I take such pleasure and enjoyment in being able to present this roundup to you. Now, the roundup is something that we've been doing for decades. That being said, you are enjoying the privilege, hopefully the privilege, of watching the first ever video roundup. Whether or not there'll be a second video roundup will be if you guys enjoy the first. Anyways, what is a real estate roundup? A real estate roundup, at least in our opinion, is a time that we dig deep and we take a look at what's happened over the last 12 months in real estate. In addition to that, we're going to take a look at all the predictions that we made from the previous year and see how we did. Seems like a little bit of a dicey thing with regards to how 2020 went. And then towards the end, what we'll do is we'll wrap up and we'll take a look towards 21 and what are we not only projecting to happen, but what are we going to put out there as our predictions? Now, let me put a little bit of housekeeping out there first and foremost. I'm going to be committing a few cardinal sins. Real estate is very specific and very local. That being said, I can't sit here and do a roundup to you and keep that in mind. So I'm going to be committing the ultimate sin, cardinal sin of real estate, and I'm going to be talking very high level, very surface level, and not very specific to different types of properties in specific locations. So I'm admitting the cardinal sin right off the bat, so you can't call me out on it. In addition, another thing important to note, the majority of our clients, not all of them, but the majority of the clients that we work with on a given year tend to live in the residential neighborhoods of Chicago, i.e. not as much downtown. Yes, we have a lot of clients that are downtown as well, but it is not the majority of the work that we do. So as we talk throughout this roundup, we are not going to be focusing on the downtown neighborhoods. If you have specific questions about a downtown neighborhood or any neighborhood or type of property in general, please reach out to me. Please reach out to your Chicago Home Partner representative to ask for specific information. So you have been warned. This is a surface level conversation on residential real estate in the Chicago neighborhoods. Okay, so let's get started a little bit. First and foremost, I always apologize when I talk about the market. To me, it's something that I'm incredibly passionate about, something that excites me, but I also recognize it's not the most riveting of conversations. So I apologize in advance. Hopefully you are choosing to be here and listening to me, so it's your choice, so hopefully you have some interest in it as well. As I always say, real estate on its most basic level is a supply-demand relationship. It's about how many homes are on the market and how many people are ready, willing, and able to buy those homes. That's as basic as I can make it. Now, what makes it complex, convoluted, muddy waters? There are thousands of things that impact each of those categories, the supply and demand, on a regular basis. As advisors, we're continually studying the impacts of those two so that we can not only understand what's happening in the market today, but we can help our clients to understand what's going to be happening in the market. That's as basic as I can make it. Before I dive into 2020, I need to just give you a tad bit of information on 2019, just so that we understand where we were at when we took a step into 2020. Realistically, we were in a good place to take on a very traumatic year. What do I mean by that? 2019 was a year in the market that we were experiencing a natural market correction. I know that sounds a little scary, but it was not scary at all. It was planned, it was predicted, and it was expected. As I explained to most people, the Chicago real estate often resembles a toddler roller coaster. We are not like the coast that see the peaks and valleys. We have ebbs and flows, small hills and valleys, something of the sort. So that's what we have to think about. So in 2019, that was a year that we were experiencing a natural market correction, which essentially means we were balancing, we were flattening out. Something very planned, very calculated. In fact, if you really date back and track it, it started all the way back in 2016 and ended up in 2019. The only thing that I need you to understand about that is, as I just said, the market was at a very balanced point. So if there was ever a market that we could say we were in a good point to take on world pandemic and complete social and civil unrest, we were at it, and that was a good thing.